day to do this monument because it is the 74th anniversary of Pearl Harbor, a day that we all remember and, as was said, will live for infamy. The Odenbach family first broke ground in this site in 1942, and I had the pleasure of joining the grandson of the gentleman that built the building that used to be here, that we're honoring today. And he told me an interesting story. The family was actually in the gravel business, and World War II broke out, and there was no longer roads being built because it was all focused toward the war effort. So his grandfather went to Washington and said, what are we going to do? How can we help out? And what they told him is, can you build ships? He said, sure. And this began. He had never built a ship in his life before. What they built here were 300-foot-long ships, which, by the way, we have a model of one of the ships they built in the community center at Town Hall that's being displayed now. But in addition to that, as the first ship was being built here, they were building the building around them because it was for the war effort, and he was an individual that understood the need for getting this job done in a prompt manner. They ultimately floated the ships out Round Creek, but when the first ship was built, there was no passage to Round Creek. So they got aboard the ship, put it in reverse, and just kept ramming it out till they dug their own channel. And that's how the job got done. Good old ingenuity. So this is a story not only of an individual and a history here that represents our community's effort in World War II, one of many, but it also demonstrates the entrepreneurial spirit of somebody saying, I'll step up, I'll do the job, and at all costs, whatever it takes, we're going to get this job done. And he did. And this building here that was behind us that we're honoring today in the plaque is one that employed at that time 1,500 people here in the town of Greece, all for the war effort. So we wanted to make sure that we commended not only what took place here, but all that went on behind the scenes. And I would not know that had I not had a chance to spend some time with the grandson of the gentleman that built the building. I want to thank certainly Ivana Frankenberger, who's here with us today, for all of her efforts, the paperwork, and all that was necessary to meet the timeline so that we could unveil this today. Thank you very much for your efforts. And I also want to thank the William Pomeroy Foundation for providing the funding for this plaque that will now forever live. You know, for many years we drove by the Odenbach factory and we saw it falling in disrepair because the need was no longer. When the war ended, actually for a while they did some work on jet engines and jet planes in this same building, but then the government no longer had the need. That building is gone, but we wanted to make sure that its memory and all that went behind it lived on. So with that, Kirk, if you'd like to... Ivana, come on, help Kirk uncover this. There you go.
That's wonderful. Very nice.
Yeah, I never realized it. I always knew they built ships here, but I never realized 300 feet in length, some of it. Is that in the general area of the community?